guys, welcome back. I know no makeup today. It was not the best day when I got up. When all else fails, give up, go take a nap, see if your day turns around. That's my advice. Over the last week or so, I had another demon, oh god, whatever term makes you happy, trying to come in. And I spent time talking to them last night, and I spent time talking to them this morning because I'm just wiped out and exhausted and in bed. And I really didn't want them here. Because there was stuff that wasn't clicking, even though I thought I knew who it was, and they said they had come forward as an old god earlier in my life, because what could they do? Had they come forward as a demon, it wouldn't have worked out well. And nothing was clicking, because if you research demons, the frustrating thing is most people either copy and paste everything, or they're a rampant feminist, and every demon gets their gender switched around. And I finally found this one site, and it talked about, the person felt that this demon was linked to fear and was linked to plagues, which, given that part, makes sense. And as soon as I found that out, I could feel him light up, like he will light up, like he will light up the whole room, even though he's like Halloween personified. And he's like jumping up and down and clapping his hands because he's decided he likes me, and I think Bilal picked him out. And I just wasn't taking it well. I'm like, I have fear and anxiety already. Why the hell would I want Vepar around me? He's like the worst possible demon to be around me. And he's like, oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. And remember, he's doing this and he looks as disturbing as possible because it's Vepar, and that's just his natural thing. And I'm struggling and I'm trying to work with it and accept that this is his holy, ineffable nature, and it's not working. So then sometime today I decided I'm just gonna ignore him. He'll go away. He'll toddle off. He'll get bored. He won't get attention. He'll go away, hopefully, please. And because if anybody loves squiggly horrible things more than Loki, it's Vepar. And I'm like, please go away. Please just leave me alone. And I almost had a breakdown today because I'm thinking, the Christians got Jesus. Jesus came back to them over the weekend. You know what I mean? They have this God that loves them, and he's sunshine, and he's everything good, and he has nothing to do with ugly squigglies, and I'm stuck with Bilal, who's another ray of sunshine if you've ever worked with him. I'm feeling this fronted energy. And Vipar, who is another ray of sunshine, but looks the most gothy McGoth that you could ever get out of a demon. And I wanted to have a good cry. And it seems like all the news cycle's been terrible and everything. And then I got so frustrated. I'm yelling at the universe. I may have yelled at God, I don't know. And I'm like, why can't you turn things around? Why can't things get better? And of course, this thing came on about optimism, that Steve Hartman show that he's playing and all the adults are watching. And I realized, Vipar might have not been my first pick. He might not be my last pick. He might have been my least favorite demon. Still is, and he knows why. But, he's being nothing but loving and kind. Squiggly things aside and penchant for scaring people aside. And the same thing with Bilal. Bilal knows that I love Bilal, but he's not one of my favorites because it's like I already have him and his Modius to tell me no on anything that's even remotely fun. Why do I need another one? So so I wasn't doing too well with it, but Bilal chose to be here. He chose to be here. I didn't invite him. I mean, yeah, we did the thing about inviting the 72, but Bilal chose to be here. Vepar chose to be here. Unfortunately, as we all know, if we're pagans, God, Jesus, whomever didn't choose to show up in our life. And that was the other thing, too, that broke me today. I went on Pinterest, and there's all this God stuff on there. After I kept telling Pinterest, I'm like, no, I don't want to see this stuff. There was, like, all this stuff on there, and I'm like... And it was just a lot. And I finally realized, well, I have the ones that are with me. They might not be the ones I was going to pick. Come on. If you could pick, if we could really pick, we'd all pick to go with the flow, right? We'd all be one religion all over the world because it would be a hell of a lot easier. and we'd all have the same beliefs and everything else, but we're not meant to be that way. If we were, it would happen naturally. So I might not have picked Pepper for me ever, or Bilal. And I'm starting to feel this, like you keep mentioning me about not picking me. Is there something you want to tell me? I'm not particularly dear heart. But I wouldn't have picked Asmodeus either. In fact, Asmodeus knows that very well, and I think that's why he's so nice to me. And I wouldn't have picked Mammon. I wouldn't have picked any of the demons. Are you kidding me? I would have never picked Lucifer, and I would have never picked Satan. Yeah, I like them, but in that way, you kind of like the idea of them. Do you know what I mean? And I ended up with them. And yeah, as we go through the major Christian holidays for the rest of our lives, those of us that ended up with, whether you see them as old gods or demons, or just kind of sometimes sigh and look at them and think, why didn't I get the normal god? But hey, back here. But we end up with who we end up. We end up with the gods that pick us. To me, you can try to pick your gods all you want, and it won't work. I never want to be the one to try to tell people that are like bouncing off the wall of Loki disinterest that maybe they should find and try another god and come back later. Because sometimes they're trying, it's not working. It's either Loki's going to answer eventually or Loki's not going to answer. For those of us that are pagan, we still don't know why God didn't answer us, or Jesus or somebody. Um, but you end up with the gods you end up with, and you can either make a good life with them and be happy that somebody chose you, even if they aren't the one you would have chose, or you can be really upset about it and really mad. And it's okay as a pagan to have a meltdown, think, why can't I be like everybody else? Because sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it is hard to look at your gods and know most people see them as bad gods or demons or they don't exist or something else. And it's okay to get frustrated when you're living in a Christian geared society and there's nothing geared towards your gods, or if people are doing it, they're doing it in a way that makes you sigh and roll your eyes. So it's kind of hard sometimes being pagan, but Vivhar will not leave. He just keeps trotting around after me, and I was just really sad. I'm like, they all have Jesus, and I have the plague demon following me around, and he's weird, and he won't go away, and he's creepy. So yeah, but he knows he's very loving and he's kind. He knows he's a hard sell, especially when there are those feminist Satanists out there have changed him into a female, because one of the descriptions they say he appears as a mermaid. I have gotten nothing but pure masculine energy off of that part, and very offended masculine energy of that. And when he used to appear to me, he used to appear looking like Triton, but claimed he was Poseidon. And I always thought that was a wee bit curious, and I always would read his energy and go, this isn't Poseidon, something's wrong. So I probably have to change everything I said about Poseidon too, but he's pure male with me. He thinks women are pretty. I'm like, no, make him go away. He's RuPaul. So Loki's cackling. Loki's loving it. He's like, you got that part. He loves you. Ah. So, we do end up with the gods, demons, whatever you want to call them, that love us. And sometimes you have to find the positive in this situation. Um, sometimes you can't find the positive, just be positive about it. That's what kind of today's lesson was. And you have to. You have to find the positive in every situation. So, do the best you can. Keep up your social distancing until we're told otherwise, and just look for the positivity. I know it's hard sometimes being a pagan, and it's tough because we don't have that. They're going to be going back to church in a couple weeks, months, whenever this lifts. They have cyber church and everything. For us, a lot of pagans are loners anyways, but we don't have that option. And I think sometimes that kind of sucks, but it's because our gods think we learn better on our own or something. And sometimes it is hard not being, in the mainstream, but our gods picked us for a reason. We have to believe that. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Loki's going to be getting so much mileage out of that bar. And Maybe he'll be here for a couple weeks and get bored and wander off on his own naturally. I don't know. Probably not, because he's way too delighted with my reaction to him, which is, "Ugh, go away." And the more you do that, he's like, "I love you. I'm going to come closer." No, you really don't have to. So he's enjoying it. It's like Halloween personified, and that's my favorite holiday. I almost said he's my favorite holiday. But, go for. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.